Recording in progress.
Good afternoon. It is November 15th, 2021, 3:30, and we're going to call the land bank to order for today. We do have a small agenda, but every agenda always begins with an opportunity for the public to address the land bank and the city commission. So today, I believe that we have a couple individuals who would like to address the land bank. Do you have the public? Actually, I'm going to read it. Public comments. The statement is as follows. Subject to the above restrictions, persons who wish to address the City Commission and or Land Bank trustees regarding items on the agenda may do so when that agenda item is called. Persons who wish to address the Land Bank regarding items not on the agenda but are under the jurisdiction of the Land Bank may do so at the time when they're called upon by the mayor or the Land Bank trustees. Comments on personal matters and matters pending in court or outside or without or other outside tribunals are not permitted. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes, and any presentation will be for information purposes only. And we will, as a land bank, take that under advisement. So, who is the first individual who would like to address the land bank today?
George Ogle.
All right, George, come on up. Just for the microphone and just for the record, will you please tell us who you are?
George Ogle,
Okay, and where do you live?
Ottawa.
Okay, well, all right, good, we're glad. What you
Okay.
got to tell us today?
I wanted to retract a statement I made last time that I would be okay with not getting the bids that I put in. It was a little cloudy. I didn't realize a couple other people after the auction last time had went ahead and put in something. I wasn't aware that it wasn't made public that we could do that. So once I found out we could do that, I put in my bids. I understand the other two people wanted to buy them all. I think there's a lot more opportunity. Like one of the comments you said last time during the last land bank meeting was these people were interested because they saw the response at the auctions and the interest from the auctions. I'm part of the reason they saw, a big part of the reason they saw that interest. And I will, I've decided I will, if they don't buy them or whatever, as long as the housing market keeps going, I'll just build it out myself. You know, I know we want to build it, we want to sell a lot of them as quickly as we can, but I don't think we should give it to outside guy, bring in outside contractors in, and the money goes right out to the community when you have people like myself and other people in the community. Now that we know that we can put in bids and buy them, I think that people here in the community will buy them. And I just wanted to say I'd really like my two lots and maybe more. I wouldn't be mad if you didn't sell them at all, but I understand we got to get rid of them, but I do want my two if I can have them, please. Thanks.
Thank you, George, we appreciate it. Thanks for the work you're doing in our community. Do we have another individual who would like to address?
We do. Anne Marie Snow.
Anne Marie, please come forward. And just on the
I'm
microphone.
Anne Marie Snow, and I live at 1713 Elderberry Lane.
Mhm.
And I heard about the auction, and I kind of came because I was told you had to build a house right away. So I came in, and I wasn't quite ready for, the meeting. And when I found out, I bought two lots, 11 and 12, right behind me. The people that's already living on Elderberry Lane is kind of used to, well, we've been using the city land kind of. We cut the grass and we've been using it. And the dogs go there, we play games there with the grandkids. We really don't want to lose it. So I got 11 and 12, which was kind of sudden, but thinking about it, I would also like to get 13. And I did ask people, was a little quick for me to build for 3 lots right away. That's a lot of money. But anyway, I asked them, can we bid again? And they said, sure, that's no problem. So I figured, okay, let me look what I have and see if I have the money and I can maybe buy another one. And then somebody said everything is sold, and I kind of got upset. So I feel like George, I think the people that live there should be able to have a chance. And I'm going to leave the grass there. That's my thing. I'm 81 years old, and the grandkids one day when I'm gone, I don't know what they're going to do. But right now, we have our dogs there. We have our grandkids playing there. I want to buy that lot too. Then we have the grass that we have been taking care of and done over the years. So I would like to hand in that I would like to buy lot number 13. That's it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anne Marie. Appreciate it. City Attorney Finch.
There's nothing else, then I can leave, right? Because I can't hear anything anyway.
Absolutely. You're welcome to stay or go. We'd like whatever
I can't hear
works
what
best
say,
with you.
But I hope you're gonna go our way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair and trustees of the Land Bank, this, by way of update, all of the contracts that were entered into as part of the second Coves auction that we had are set to close on Thursday of this week. We've been working with the title company to get those ready to close, and that should happen on Thursday. I think all of them will close the same day, so Chair Kaler will need your John Hancock on that day. The remaining 28 lots, as you recall at the meeting last time, you directed me to try to negotiate to resolution on 2 separate agreements, one with Mr. Ogle on the 2 lots, the other with Mr. Whalen's agent, Larry Northrup, on his offer to purchase 28 lots at $11,000 apiece with a 3% commission. Mr. Ogle did tell me after the meeting he would be fine if he did not get them, so long as they all sold. And as he just told you in public comment today, a statement that mirrors what he told me on the phone today, that he was retracting that he would like to have the 2 lots if possible. I talked to Mr. Northrup, the agent for Mr. Whalen, last week, and under email to all of you, I informed you that at the time that Mr. Whalen's position is he'd made an offer for 28 lots. For him, the investment cash flowed at that point. That's what he wanted to do, is purchase all 28 lots. Since I cannot give effect to both contracts, this matter is back before you today. We've also received an email from Otto Westerfield, who was another bidder who was looking at all of the lots, remember, to purchase all 28. He had inquired of Ms. Lee in the Community Development Department, wanting to know what the Whalen offer was, because he felt that he would want the chance to try to match or beat it. And then you had Ms. Snow, who also contacted my office today and indicated that she wanted to make a bid on lot 13, and I believe has turned in the same over here to the city clerk. So that is the status of all offers in play. At this point, I need more direction from you all as trustees as to what you want me to do, since I cannot give effect to your last directive to me, and I cannot sell the same lot to 2 people. The Whalen offer is good still, 28 lots, 11,000 per, 3% commission. They will agree to close with our closing agent, but I don't know how much longer that offer will be good. The Ogle offer remains good to buy the 2 lots, the Snow offer to buy the 1, and Westerfield has not submitted a new offer as of this point.
I just have a question about the timing. I know Mr. Ogle's bid came in, when was that? November 3rd for the extra 2 lots, 27 and 28. Does a date on this preclude anything coming after that fact, including the Whalen offer?
No, so I want to clarify, and Mr. Ogle made a point about what had happened with a couple of the lots in the auction. We had 2 parties who were at the second auction who, within days of the auction, which was October 5th, you'll remember, had said, we were at the auction, we liked this lot, we just either got cold feet or didn't have everything ready, and we'd like to buy those at the minimum bid, the 10,000. The Ogle offer is not a bid, it's an offer that came in almost a month after the second auction. Mr. Ogle was a bidder at both auctions. So there were opportunities here to purchase those lots at sale both times. So I differentiate people who were at the auction and submitted an offer within days of the auction, and those that submitted almost a month later. And you'll recall that the Westerfield offer was probably the first in time, and then Ogle, and then Whalen. And at the point at which you all had met and confirmed the auction sales and those that came in right after, you'll recall that in that meeting you said, we'll just leave this open and see what kind of interest comes in. And at that point, it's basically that you're open to receiving offers like anyone else who has a property for sale. And what you got were 3 offers that came in kind of back to back to back. And there is no time limit. You're not bound to take the first offer that comes in, or to say this one came in 5 hours before the second one, so we have to take it. The other thing I would remind you of is you're free to take any offer and explain the rationale therefore. There is an obligation that comes with being both land bank trustees and members of the city commission to attempt to maximize value for the municipal corporation. The same fiduciary duties that would apply for corporate trustees or corporate directors are in place for you. You're the directors of the body politic for the city of Ottawa. You can deviate from a strict business decision because you're not in a for-profit corporation, but you do need to elucidate a good reason for why you're moving away from taking what potentially could be more money or potentially a sale for the good of the city at large, which recall has been paying these special assessments on this property through property taxes for many years now. And a sale of all of the lots does give you the opportunity to clear those specials once and for all and move the property back into profitable hands in terms of raising revenue and not having a sunk cost any longer. So those are kind of the obligations. You have the offers, and before you, I'll stand for any other questions you may have.
I have a question, and I think I know the answer, but why can't we satisfy all three? Mr. Ogle, two. I know one of them says I've won them all, or none, I guess. I don't really believe that, but it is an offer. But it seems to me like we could counter with, the one that wants the 28 and make a deal for the 25, and let the lady and Mr. Ogle have the lots they want. They're local. I kind of a little bit. She's buying them to mow. I'd rather buy them. Have her buy them to build. That's what we're after. But I don't know why 25 wouldn't be something that would still be acceptable to the other buyer.
I can only tell you that in 3 conversations that I've now had with Mr. Northrup, the agent for Mr. Whalen, who made the offer on all 28, he is not willing to entertain less than that.
Is he going to start building en masse?
His intention is to build out the subdivision using local contractors to complete the work.
And what about Mr. Westerfield? Has there anybody approached him lately?
Ms. Lee has had more contact with Mr. Westerfield. I've had no direct contact. I see that she's on the line. I don't know if she wants to speak to that.
Afternoon, Commissioners. This is Wendy Lee, Director of Community Development. Mr. Westerfield is the first one to make an offer for all of the lots at the same rate that we had them initially, the floor of $10,000. He indicated interest in all of them. We had put that in the packet along with Mr. Ogle's offer. And really until last week, he reached back out to send me the contract, and that's when I let him know that first off, when we had our land meeting last week, we'd received a third offer, and that offer was at a higher amount. I did send him the information today, but it was late this afternoon to let him know about the land bank meeting, and forwarded him the offer because it was an open record, so that he could have that available to him. And I guess if you are interested in counteroffers and other kinds of things, we as staff are certainly here to do as you wish. But when I had talked with our city attorney last week, and the offer that was the higher number was only willing to do it if they got them all, frankly, I just thought maybe that's where we needed to be. But if you want to consider all kinds of things, we're ready to do what you would ask. I just know I will tell you that, as Blaine said, during your land bank meeting last week, when they were listening, and they communicated quite clearly right at the beginning that they really did want them all. So that hasn't been something, they have not changed from that. If you want to do something different, I don't know whether Mr. Westerfield would consider some less than all, but his offer was not as high.
Other questions,
Is Mr.
Commissioners?
Ogle, is his bid is the 11,000 we're talking about on the other?
10,000 per
No.
lot from Mr. Ogle.
Is how much?
10,000 per lot from Mr. Ogle.
Well,
Other questions, commissioners? So as clarification, when we were going through, when you were talking about the October 5th auction and then the 2 bids that came post-auction, just pretty quickly after the auction was over, all those are closing.
Yes, those are all closing on
This
Thursday.
week.
Yep.
Okay. This may not be popular among everyone, but here's the thing, I'm not here for a popularity contest. I am here to do what's right on behalf of all citizens here in the city of Ottawa. And I agree, I think that our responsibility is to, first and foremost, to make sure that citizens are made as whole as possible from the sales or from the property tax that they have been paying for years, in excess of $1 million for specials. And while the $11,000 per lot does not even begin to touch that, it does touch future specials and alleviates all the specials going forward, as does all of the offers, but $11,000 is the highest offer. I think we have to, in good fiduciary responsibility, we have to recognize that and go with that. So I am in favor of offering the lots at the highest per lot bid, and that happens to be Mr. Whalen, sorry if I got that wrong, and that would be where I believe that we should go.
Yeah, but what about a counter offer?
I'm not sure who just spoke.
This is Otto Westerfeld. Can you hear me?
yes.
Yes, Mr. Westerfeld, can we see ya?
If I'm smart enough to operate this, I
Okay.
think so. Stand by. Let's see. There you go.
Great. Hello, welcome to the Land Bank. We appreciate you being here today. With technology, we don't know who is on with us, so we appreciate being able to see who you are. So welcome, we're glad you're here. Would you like to repeat your comment so that the public may hear it?
Well, what I just heard you say, Wendy, was that you recommended accepting the highest offer, and the news of a higher offer than what we made is news to me as of this moment.
Those offers, my name is Mayor Kaler, and the offers were actually made available by public, in a public document that was made available, I think, 10 days ago or so. So we're
Well,
happy to share that with you, and you're happy to look at it if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we haven't, did I understand that we were the first to make an offer on it?
So, Madam Mayor? This is Wendy Lee, Director of Community Development. Mr. Westerfeld, I did send it to you today. You may not have seen it yet. But yes, at the beginning of this meeting, maybe before you joined, the city attorney, last week at the Land Bank meeting, there were 3 offers on the table, yours, one for 2 lots at 10,000, and then a third offer that was all 28 lots for 11,000 minus a 3% commission. The Land Bank had made a decision at the time and directed the city attorney. Because that was still pending, I didn't communicate with you, and I'm sorry for that. But that was the offer, 11,000 with 3% commission. We weren't, at that point, staff weren't directed to see if anyone wanted to counter or meet. But per your question, that would be up to the Land Bank.
Well, that's my question is because, like I said prior, this is the first I've heard of an $11,000 offer per lot, all lots. So, I'd like a chance to be able to speak with my partner and see if we have an interest, above and beyond that 11,000 or who made the first offer, Wendy? Did we make it, or did the other gentleman, or Who was first?
Mr. Westerfeld,
Yes.
I'm not sure we're necessarily so worried about the timing of the offers as we are about making sure that we are maximizing the return for taxpayers. Because this came to the land bank, I don't want to speak for everybody up here, but I can speak for myself. I would much rather not have these. I would much rather not have a land bank. I would much rather not have access to these. I'd much rather just not have this on our plate at all. But it came to us because the specials were unpaid for years, and taxpayers have been on the hook for over $1 million for property taxes. So in my time on the city commission, I've always been very strong about making sure that we return to taxpayers what we can and not take more than we need to. So we need to maximize those dollars. And I'm only speaking for myself. The other trustees certainly may want to weigh in at this time.
Mr. Westerfield, this is Commissioner Skidmore. I'm just curious, would you be willing to buy the remaining 25 lots if those are the remaining number of lots?
I believe we would. And again, to address the previous speaker, I certainly understand your fiduciary responsibility to the public, and I'm 100% in agreement with what you said, and I'm not suggesting anything outside of what your goal is. I just merely was asking who made the first offer, because in the commercial world, it does make a difference. Now, if you tell me it doesn't make a difference and you don't care who made the first offer, then I'll have to live with that. But that was why I was asking.
The first offer would have come at our very first auction that we would have had, and that would have been a few months ago because we've been selling lots for a while.
For all 28 lots?
There were more than 28 lots, sir.
Okay.
These
So
are
they
just the
offered-
remaining lots that had not yet sold. So the initial offer came with the very first auction that we had. This
Okay,
summer.
so the first offer for all the remaining lots was at the last auction?
Madam
This-
Chair.
Yes.
Members of the panel, if you want to engage in a negotiation with parties, you need to let all the parties who have submitted offers know that you're going to engage in public negotiations, and we can tee that up for a new meeting. Mr. Westerfield, there was a section for public comment. This is not an opportunity for you to interrogate the members of the land bank about the timing of the offers. The timing is irrelevant to this conversation.
Okay, that's all I needed to hear. I think that we would
Sir,
be interested in the 25 lots.
Sir,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you to stop talking now.
Okay.
The chair is in control of the meeting. She'll decide whether she'll take additional public comment.
Very good.
Thank you, Mr. Westerfeld. Appreciate you being here. Commissioners, thoughts? I'm sorry, Land Bank trustees. I got your title wrong today. Land Bank trustees. Yes.
I would like to do two things. I want to pursue his offer, and I want to go back to Mr. Whelan. I still want to sell the lots. I want to sell them all, and I want to sell them at the highest price. But I think what we have here is maybe a little bit of timing and communication issues that we need to do another week or so and let them get their biggest and best offer in. Because of that, and so I'm not ready to make a decision today, and I want to pursue these two parties that want the rest of the lots. So that's where I am.
Commissioner Wagon, or Trustee Wagon, can you verify how many lots we're talking about you're suggesting?
I'm suggesting that we go back to Mr. Whelan for, if he would, is serious about he only interested in, if he takes 28, and Mr. Westerfield, if he would take the 25 and what he would pay for them, and then we would have Mr. Ogle and Miss, what's her name, Snow?
It
Snow?
appears as though, I don't procedurally know whether this is correct or not, and our city attorney can certainly clarify this, but I think that if we're opening up the negotiations, I don't feel comfortable leaving it to just a couple parties. I think we have to deny all the bids, and then we have to open it up for a negotiation. I don't feel comfortable in just saying like, well, we may have a conversation with them, and we may have a conversation with them. I'm not going to pick that. There may be somebody out there, if we're going to open it up, we have to open it up to everyone. I could be wrong on this one. City Attorney Finch?
I want to clarify something first. Mr. Northrup has put it in writing that his client is not interested in anything less than 28 lots. I'm not sure that the board is, are you directing me to go back and ask him, do you really mean it?
Was there a time frame on that offer?
I don't have the offer in front of me, it's in the book. But it was very clear to me that in both verbally in the phone call and in writing in the follow-up email that Mr. Whalen was only interested in the 28 lots. At the time of the meeting last week, you all had kind of directed me to go down the path of negotiating with the Whalen offer and the Ogle offer to see if they could be squared, and they could not. So that's why we're back here today, and now you're talking about reopening to the Westerfield, not initial offer, but perhaps a counter offer. I don't know how that will be received. I mean, the cleanest way would probably be that you reject all pending offers right now and start over if that's what you want to do, or that you proceed with one of the offers you chose last week. But there's no question in my mind, Trustee Wygand, from Larry Northrup, that Mr. Whalen is not interested in you selling off 2 or even 3 of these lots and picking up the rest.
Trustee Skidmore here. So I'm thinking here, if we can win-win this somehow, if we can get Mr. Ogle the 2 lots he wants to buy, Mrs. Snow, her lot she wants to buy. I don't think there's any other pending offers out there that I'm aware of. So it leaves us 25 lots. And maybe Mr. Whalen didn't realize there was someone else willing to buy all the lots too, if he rejects this. And so I would say if we can reopen the bidding for 25 lots to anybody and see what kind of prices we have that come in to sell all the remaining 25 as a suggestion. Anybody have any other ideas?
Well, what I hear, and I could be wrong, is that that will make Mr. Whalen's offer null and void, regardless if he's not interested in that. He wants the 28 or nothing, is what I'm hearing was the direction that was given to our city attorney. Am I wrong? Oh.
You know, I may be wrong, but I've been in the real estate business for 31 years, and I have seen so many people make absolute offers, and they're not really absolute offers. 25 lots, 28 lots, I just don't see the economy difference that much.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I made a comment last week about the transparency of my business relationship with Mr. Ogle. And I want to repeat myself about, possibly being a contractor on Mr. Ogle's projects. But quite honestly, when I set up here, I have a responsibility to the citizens of Ottawa. I agree with what Chair Wygand said about how I'd prefer to have houses built there. So, Mrs. Snow buying it and mowing it, to me isn't a good idea. Mr. Ogle buying too was great, and I like the fact that he could be possibly purchasing more. My concern is, and I agree with this comment, but we don't know what the market's going to do. So if the market tanks, we have 25 lots sitting there doing nothing. This is a bird in the hand thing to me, quite honestly. And I make this comment, and I hope everybody understands, I truly mean it, that I can certainly be fair and impartial. In my feeling, I think if we have them all sold, let's sell them. I mean, to me, that gets everything back on the tax roll. I agree with what Chair Skidmore said and Chair Wygand said. We could certainly sell the 2 and sell the 1 and try to, put the other 25 out there, which we could end up with more in the long run, but we also don't know. I mean, both of those guys could walk away. So my opinion is, like I said, it's a bird in the hand kind of thing to me, and if somebody is willing to buy them all, that gets them all back on the tax roll and somewhat trying to make up for the losses that the citizens have put up with for the last 18 years or so.
Trustee Skidmore added to that, I added up 28 lots being sold for $670 more than our base bid, adds up to about $18,760. So that is pretty significant sum of money that we're gaining if we do sell all 28. So I understand where you're coming from.
So, trustees, are there additional questions that you have, thoughts? How do you want to weigh in on this? If not, I'll take a motion if there is one to be had regarding what you would like to do moving forward on the lots that remain.
Trustee Graves?
I'd make the motion to move with Wayland offer.
There's a motion to accept the Wayland offer to purchase 28 lots in the Coves. Is there a second?
Just a point of clarification, Trustee Skidmore. Mr. Whalen did say he would use local contractors. Did I hear someone say that?
Trustee Skidmore, in my conversation with Larry Northrup, he indicated that Mr. Whalen's intent was to build houses on the lots, on each of the lots, and to use local contractors, local suppliers in the building of those houses.
What do we know? What do we know about? Is he a home
Actually,
builder or?
Before we go forward, there actually is a motion on the table. So if we have a second, we need a second to have a discussion. So I'll make a second so that we can have that discussion. So, discussion.
I just wondered if what we know about the development possibilities of the buyer, Mr. Whalen, or does he build 1 house a year, 10 houses a year, 28 houses a year? Is he?
Trustee Wigand, I don't know about Mr. Whalen's background. I wasn't directed to vet him. I know it's a cash offer, and according to his agent, he does engage in development work, and that's his intention with this parcel, if he has a successful offer.
Other comments? All right, then we will proceed to vote.
How do you vote, Trustee Wigand?
I'd rather be last.
Well,
Yeah.
How do you vote, Trustee Skidmore?
Yes.
Vice Chair Crowley?
Yes.
And Chair Kaler?
and I vote yes. Motion carries. So that moves us on to our announcements, which is next meeting. Do we need to have a next meeting? I guess would be the question. When can we dissolve the land bank is the question.
I will formalize this contract. You've all voted to accept it, so we'll proceed to move that contract to close as soon as the due diligence period is up. Should be done by the end of the year. And then there'll be no further parcels for you to deal with in the land bank. So then we can talk about all of that later. But you should not have to have another land bank meeting between now and the end of the year, since you've now ratified or accepted all sales.
All right, great. Then we will not schedule our next meeting, but please, individuals who are interested in land bank and in lots that were available in the land bank, please kind of stay tuned to the city's website and to our social media about a special call meeting, because we will have to have one. We just don't know when that will be. So if there's nothing else to be brought forth to the city commission, the land bank today, we're going to close this